Hello everyone, this is Andy with the Pixel Pub, and I'm here with my top 10 games 2023. Okay, starting out with a few honorable mentions here. I couldn't just make a top 10 list, I had to talk about more than that. Got 3 games that I want to talk about, starting with Super Kiwi 64. Now, Super Kiwi 64 is a game that's on Steam. I believe it might be on the Switch too. It's like $4 or something. It is just a complete throwback to old N64 platformers, 3D platformers, collectathons. But the thing about this game is that it's like 45 minutes long, and it was just a delight to play. I would have liked it to be a little bit longer, maybe like an hour longer or so, just to get some more ideas in there. But I think that the team that made it, or the guy that made it, I'm not exactly sure, just did a wonderful job, and something that didn't overstay its welcome, and it just a fun little throwback that I had a lot of fun with. Another honorable mention is Stray Gods. Stray Gods is a kind of a visual novel, choose your own adventure type of game, but it's a musical. All the choices you make are sung, and this has to do a lot with Greek gods, which I'm a big fan of. And it was just a nice little breezy playthrough. I did it in like 2 or 3 sittings. Yeah, it was a fun little story, and it had just all the different options you could pick for, how to play your character. Were also different paths to a song, and it changed the song, and that was fun. The only reason it wasn't super high on my list is that type of game doesn't do a whole lot for me. That's why I'm glad it was short. It was to the point, and the music was really good. Just stuff like that. It has to be really good like this for me to even get on my radar. So Stray Gods, thumbs up. Okay, last honorable mention here is going to be a controversial one, I think, because it seems to be everyone's game of the year for 2023, and that is Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I haven't beat it yet. Every game I'm going to talk about, I've played to completion. The only one I haven't is Baldur's Gate 3. I feel like I will at some point. It's just playing these long-ass games on the PC here and the computer is something that's new to me. I haven't really done it. I usually play my games on the couch in the living room, and I don't know, I had some problems with it in the beginning. I'm in Act 2 right now, but towards the end of Act 1, I was really struggling with what should I do, where should I go. It's telling me I'm not high enough level to go down this path, but this other path, I literally have to kill every goblin on the screen, and that's going to take... I don't want to fight, I want to talk to people, I want to use my charisma, I want to use the dice rolls for stuff like that. I want to play it the way I want to play it, and that seems like what the game was sold on, but to me, I was like, I can't do this. I'm being funneled in this one direction, which it's a video game. It has to make those conceits. It can't be, up to your imagination and your D&D dungeon master to be, that type of game. But I will say, I'm one to notice a game that's really well made, even if I know it's not exactly for me. This game is super well made. Just all the different options for characters and classes and everything, and all the routes to the story you could take, and all the different character interactions with your party, and who you can have in your party, and all this other stuff. And it's just, that type of stuff to me is a super big delight. There's a particular point where, I guess kind of the middle of Act 2 or Act 1, you have kind of a big party at your camp, and I really enjoyed that. I was like, I want more of that type of stuff. But I haven't closed the book on it yet. I do intend to play more of it. Hopefully to completion. Hopefully it doesn't get too hard for me. We'll see. But yeah, that's my honorable mentions. Let's go to the top 10. All right, number 10 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Star Wars Jedi something. Yeah, the last one that Respawn made, the Star Wars game that's kind of like Dark Souls, but kind of like Uncharted too. Yeah, I really like that first one. This one, sort of less so, which is odd because it kind of does everything better. I think the environments are fun to explore, kind of like give you a little Metroidvania type of feel. The story's interesting, I guess. It's weird. You're trying to find this secret planet that no one can get to, and it's like, really? Can that happen in space? I guess. I mean, you could use the Force and stupid shit like that too, but that doesn't exist. But yeah, it was a super well polished game. I love a good Dark Souls clone, especially when they're easier than Dark Souls like this is. And yeah, Just a fun little game, a fun little romp through the Star Wars universe. Okay, number 9 is Dredge. Now, Dredge is a very interesting game for those of you who haven't heard it. It is a fishing game, but not quite so. You're a little boat in this little group of islands, and there's some dark cosmic horror underneath the surface of the sea, and you have to solve the mystery of what's going on while fishing, while upgrading your boat and all the other stuff, and exploring the different islands. Very short game, very indie-rific, I would say. Like it screams that, 10 to 12 developer style of game, but man, it was right up my alley. It's definitely what I wanted to play at the time, so much that I picked up a physical version because I liked it so much. And Kathy played through it; she liked it too. It's got an upcoming DLC, or already have a DLC with Dave the Diver, which was also pretty cool. It didn't make my list because I didn't beat it, but yeah, Dredge was awesome. Just a fun experience all around. Okay, number 8 is something I don't have a physical version for because I don't think they've made a physical version for it, and that is Hi-Fi Rush, which was announced early this year on a Xbox stream or whatever, and then it was immediately available to play on Game Pass, and I immediately played it, and what a fun little thing. There have been multiple games where they've tried to merge rhythm with other types of genres, like first-person shooters, and in this case, a beat-em-up action game, Devil May Cry, whatever, Bayonetta, whatever you want to call it. But this one just nails it. It feels really good. When it comes to rhythm stuff like that, sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes I'm not. This one I felt like I was in control the whole time, and having just a great old time with the music and everything. Just the characters were fun, the artwork was amazing, the cel-shaded style just looking better than ever. Obviously, things get better with time, but yeah, it's just, and the fact that it was a surprise, it was announced and dropped the same day. It's awesome. It's great. But yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, number 8. Number 7 here is, in the year of a lot of remakes, this was one of the best ones. That's Resident Evil 4. I also played the Dead Space remake earlier this year as well. This one's better to me because I think Resident Evil 4 is a better game than Dead Space, even though Dead Space is really good. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, they kind of nailed it their first time around on the GameCube when it first came out, and it came out for every single system ever after that. But yeah, the remake is just a 10 out of 10, just amazing. Just all the little quality of life stuff that they added, and the updated visuals are amazing, just looking great on the OLED, great on the big TV. What you want to see with a new PS5 game remake of Resident Evil 4. That shit insane story. I couldn't tell you what really happened other than you're after the president's daughter, which, who doesn't know the story of Resident Evil 4 by this point? At least that part. But yeah, just a great time. I'm hoping that I can try out the VR mode at some point. I don't have a PSVR 2, but who knows? Maybe someday down the line if they discount it enough. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, good time. Okay, number 6 is another remake / remaster, and this is really more of the remastered category. That is Metroid Prime Remastered. Metroid Prime was a game that I got pretty close to launch on the GameCube when it first came out in like 04, I believe, 03, 02 maybe, one of those three. And I really, really liked it, and I played it too sparingly. Back then I was very much of a little delinquent, out with my delinquent friends and doing delinquent stuff. So I didn't play a ton of games a lot. So when it came down, when I did have time to play Metroid Prime and I had to come back to it after playing for a few hours, I had no idea what to do. So I never actually beat this game, which was a shame, because when they announced this earlier this year, I picked it up, intent on beating it. I beat it in like 3 days. It's great. What an awesome game. I'm hoping they really do Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Pick that up on the GameCube this year. Tried playing it on my CRT over there on the GameCube, and it's really dark. And trying to go back to the GameCube controller is really something I don't want to do right now. So I'm hoping they do the HD version, because I picked that up too. Go ahead and throw in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, because I didn't beat that on the Wii either. But yeah, just there's a reason why this game is considered a classic by so many people, and it shows in this remaster. Okay, number 5 is another Switch game. That is Super Mario Bros. Wonder Came out in October, I believe, this year. I did a video of it the day it came out, and just what a delightful game. I've been kind of down on the new Super Mario Brothers series for a while. I think a lot of people are. They're fine games, fun little platformers. I think even in the pantheon of platformers that come out every single day, they're still head and shoulders above most of them. That's why I continue to play them. But for the most part, the imagination and the heart and soul of Mario just didn't feel in it. This, I feel like they're getting a whole lot closer. I don't know if it's quite there for me. It still does a lot of things right. It wouldn't be on this list if it didn't. The Wonder Seed stuff is really good. I wish there was just a few different more, changes that it would make to the gameplay. But the stuff they do, I can't complain too much because it's so good. This is one of those games where I just sit down and before I know it, it was over. And I haven't done everything yet. I still need to go back to it. I got so many freaking games to play. Wait till the next gaming hall. It's going to be nuts. But yes, this is very, very good. Please try out Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It is number 5. Okay, number 4 is another game that I don't have a physical version of because they don't have one yet. Should be coming out soon, I believe sometime in January, and that is Sea of Stars. Now, I first caught a glimpse of this game a few years ago. See the trailer for it. It looked amazing, amazing sprite work. I think they name dropped Yoshinori Mitsuda, which is the composer of this Chrono Cross soundtrack, which I absolutely adore. Saying all the right things for me, like some Chrono Trigger combat, and I was definitely down for all of that. I was ready for my hopes to be dashed and the game not to be that good, but man, it is really, really good. It was higher up on my list towards the beginning of the year, or when it came out. I guess it came out sometime in August. But it slowly made its stuff down as more stuff came out. But I believe when it came out, it was my number 2 game of the year. But it's had to come down because better stuff came out. But man, just don't focus on that. If you like turn-based RPGs, if you like throwbacks to the old 16-bit RPGs like this that look like the games do in your memory, not what they actually look like, just awesome all around. It just good music. I didn't like the music at first, but towards the end it gets a whole lot better. Art's amazing, combat's amazing. Like, I can keep repeating myself all I want to, but just if you like those types of games, please play Sea of Stars. It's amazing. Okay, number 3, another digital-only game that I'm hoping gets a physical release sometime because I really, really liked it, and it just popped on my list last week, and that is Alan Wake 2. Now, I wasn't planning on playing this game anytime soon. I didn't play the first Alan Wake, even though I own it on multiple systems. I only played a little bit of it. I haven't really played that many of Remedy's games except for Control, which I fucking loved. I love Control. And every time Alan Wake 2 would pop up in trailers and stuff, I'd be like, maybe I'll think about it. And I think about, oh, Control. I love Control. I probably need to play Alan Wake 2. And then it came out, and people were buzzing about it, Game of the Year, all this other stuff. Like, I was like, oh my God, I have to play it. And then I listen to a lot of video game podcasts, and they like to do their Game of the Year wrap-up stuff at the end of the year. And I knew I have to play this game before I listen to those because I don't want to get a lot of spoilers. Because this game, this stuff in Control, not necessarily story stuff, but stuff that happens in the game that's fun to see, I don't want spoiled for me. So I went in blind. Fucking amazing. Awesome stuff. I love Saga Anderson, the new character in this series. I think they said that, I think I read somewhere they made mention of her in another Remedy game. I can't remember the name. The one that was only on Xbox, and no one really liked it. But yeah, I love the switching of back and forth between Alan Wake and Saga Anderson and slightly different gameplay styles. I think I lean more towards Saga's stuff because her stuff was more geared towards like a Resident Evil kind of traditional type of thing, and Alan Wake's was a little bit more puzzly is not the right word, but just trying to figure out the environment and how to navigate it and stuff like that. But it was still really cool. There was only one part that I deeply disliked, and that was the first Alan Wake area, and that's the subways. Once you get past that, the game's a ton of fun. Wild story, wild ride. Just a bunch of great music that they needle drop over the course of the game. Just, it's amazing. Play Alan Wake 2 and play Control, please. And Remedy, make another Control. I know you probably will, but do it sooner than later because I want to play that. Okay, number 2 here is a big one, and it is a 2. And that's SpiderMan 2. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I really love the first Spider-Man, so getting this one was a no-brainer. I'm a big fan of Venom, so getting this was a no-brainer. Anything that can be said about the first Spider-Man game, any positive thing that can be said about it, can be said about this game times 5. It's just fucking incredible. That whole added extra island, the Astoria, I think is it Queens? Is that island that they added that you can explore? The Venom story is great. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite bits of Spider-Man media I've ingested since the 90s, maybe. It's just really, really good. The story's really good. The characters are a whole lot of fun. Fucking playing as Mary Jane's not that boring anymore. She's got a gun. It's like someone should just give Spider-Man that gun because she takes enemies down in one hit. And it's great. She's awesome. But yeah, they added a whole lot to the combat. It feels like every second and a half something's popping off. You're hitting L1 and square or R1 and triangle and just webs going everywhere. Electricity's popping off. You're fucking cracking some dude's head open with your foot. And then after that, you just fucking swing off in this fucking gorgeous, gorgeous version of New York City. And if you have a TV that supports a variable refresh rate, you can play a kind of a different mode. They have the quality mode and the performance mode. There's one in between, and it looks fucking amazing. I think it runs at 40 frames a second, and you still get all the high res textures, the fucking what ray tracing they do. You get all the bells and whistles for the quality mode, but you get it at 40, and it looks fucking great. It's honestly, just like pee yourself, looking good. But yeah, Spider-Man 2, just get it, and the Platinum's really fun to get too. All right, number 1, drum roll. Can anyone guess what it is? You ain't gotta wait that much longer. It is Tears of the Kingdom. Ta-da! Yes. Who would guess that a sequel to one of my favorite games ever, probably one of top 3 favorite games ever, is going to be my game of the year of 2023. I fucking love Breath of the Wild. Just one of those games that I wish I could just erase my memory and play it again, having, just seen it for the first time with new eyes. This was a lot like that, even though it's the same map, but they added so much stuff. Like the Sky Islands, we all know about from the trailers if you watch those. But the underground stuff, I had no idea. Maybe that was in trailers. Maybe people talked about that before the game came out. But I remember getting that quest to go underground. I'm like, okay, what's this? And then slowly realizing that, this is just the whole map again underground. And it is insane. It's like a fucking upside down version of the map. And it's mind-blowing. And then the Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts style building of stuff, all the different quality of life stuff for Breath of the Wild that they added, like the Ascend that you could just pop up through ceilings and get around faster, just stuff like that I have heard a lot of people talk about might make it harder for people to go back and play Breath of the Wild. I don't think that's the case. I think I could probably still go back and play Breath of the Wild. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I like Breath of the Wild slightly better, and I mean slightly. I mean, you could barely see some daylight between those two, but I mean, for my money, Tears of the Kingdom, number 1 game of the year. I have heard that the Zelda team will continue to try to make the open world games, and I hope they do, but I hope they do, siphon off some smaller teams to make some more stuff like Link Between Worlds, some smaller, maybe top-down, more puzzly type of stuff, more traditional Zelda type stuff. I would really enjoy that there, because there's room for both. There's absolute room for both, because I will buy both. Multiple people will buy, millions of people would buy both, I'm positive. But, yeah, that's number 1, Tears of the Kingdom. Fucking can't be touched. But yeah, that's the top 10 games of 2023. What a fucking year. I could have easily made a top 20 list. I think I beat 25, 27, 28 games this year. Just banger after banger after banger, month after month of just fucking amazing shit. I would love to know what y'all's top 10 games are. Leave them in the comments, let me know. And I'm looking forward to 2024. I might do a video of the games I'm looking forward to the most in 2024. I've got that swirling around in my head. But yeah, that's my games for 2023. This is Andy from the Pixel Pub. Peace out.